Okay. I remember when Yakov Smirnoff was a bartender.
Yes, and I think his growth in the business is almost an exception to the rule.
Yeah, but he was very keen on watching the comedians and
Yes.
trying, and then he wrote his humor about Russia, the original Russia, when getting here and everything. And then, you know, he moved to California. He made celebrity there status, and he would come back and work. And he then, when Russia became, the communism was over, he lost his whole act. But he went to Branson, Missouri, and he worked so hard that he wound up buying his own theater, and he made a production show, a two-hour show, and he's so successful even today, he rents out his theater while he's living in California, and he's writing a sitcom for himself and other things, and it's just amazing. He goes back to Branson to do a couple of weeks here or there, and now, which you may not know, he's been training to do Dancing with the Stars.
Oh my God.
He's hoping that, because they're very interested in him. So he's living in California, and he's going to he's taking dancing lessons. So he could be on the show, he's watching his weight, he's eating stuff to give him energy to dance, all of this. I mean,
That's very interesting.
That's how the progression goes.
Well, you know, I know Yakov from when he worked as a bartender, and he was very, very friendly with my late son, Mark. And in fact, when he was making his transition, he went to Atlantic City, and Mark was there, and he was very helpful to give him the intros and so forth and so on. And he told me a story when I went backstage to hear him when I was with you. And he told me that he always felt that Mark was on his shoulder. He was his guiding light. And he had come up from Branson, Missouri, to the Taj Mahal in Atlantic City because they had the tour bus operators, and he wanted them to see what they could do.
Sure.
And he didn't know that the arena at the Taj in Atlantic City was the Mark Etess Arena. And I guess he thought about Mark when he was there, and he did his act. And as he goes to do his bow and comes up, the lights all go on and say Mark Etess Arena. And he said, he says Mark was there with him.
Wow.
And he has a whole story about it in his book. And it was interesting, the way he went to poor Jerry Weiss every week, please let me do my show.
Right, right.
So it was a snowy night. There were like 30 people during the winter. So he got his chance.
And he's good. He's a good